I'm Melissa Arthur with KACEE, and I'm excited to share the story of Solutioneers. We worked with a pilot class of teachers this year to find new ways to tackle big issues and reimagine our roles in Kansas education. KACEE is growing a healthy, vibrant, and resilient Kansas through the power of environmental education. We believe educators flourish when they receive nurturing, support, and recognition. Through Solutioneers, we're connecting the best minds in the education field to challenge and support one another to reimagine the future of education in Kansas and start to see themselves as the innovators and implementers who will lead the way. KACEE has a long history of providing successful professional development for teachers. Our workshop participants experience learning as a joyful endeavor and are reminded why they got into education in the first place. They share a deeply held belief that education can change the world.
In service time, guys.
This sucks.
Hope you got your name tag.
They're always the worst. Sleep time, guys.
No.
Did anyone bring a pillow?
I just hope they have food at this thing.
Wow! Great stuff! Yeah!
We're gonna take some kids!
Let's save the earth!
When the workshop is over, teachers find themselves back in the real world. The reality in Kansas today is that our state leaders don't support education. Educators are under tremendous pressure to meet the demands of standardized testing with limited time and resources. Teachers commonly lack critical mass to affect change in their schools and often feel isolated. Kansas teachers are watching themselves and their peers become disheartened and disengaged. The inspiration and learning educators experience in our workshops loses momentum in a system where teachers are not supported. Authority rules in our educational system, and teachers are conditioned to look outside themselves to the experts for solutions. The teachers we work with are endlessly talented and creative. And for them not to be on the leading edge, creating change around the issues that matter most to them, just didn't make sense. We knew we had to do something different. We knew that challenging and supporting teachers to reimagine their roles as leaders was essential to making meaningful and lasting change possible for environmental education. Rather than be the outside experts, instructing teachers on how to use environmental education with the new science standards, we began from a place of knowing that these educators are the experts and the leaders. Our teachers could and should be the solutioneers to build new connections and engineer solutions to their own challenges. All they really needed was a supportive environment, time, ideation, and creativity tools, and each other. Also underlying Solutioneers is the idea that we need leaders at all levels for environmental education to be impactful in our schools. Elementary, middle, and high school teachers, administrators, science coordinators, university partners, and informal educators, ultimately spreading that leadership to students as well. Solutioneers is about building adaptive leadership. Ed O'Malley at the Kansas Leadership Center says, technical problems live in people's heads and logic systems. They are susceptible to facts and authoritative expertise. Adaptive challenges live in people's hearts and stomachs. They are about values, loyalties, and beliefs. Progress on them requires the people with the problem to do the work, and the work involves refashioning those deeply held beliefs. Finding ways to make environmental education an important part of student learning is truly an adaptive challenge, one which requires leadership, learning, experimentation, engagement of others, and the willingness of leaders to take risks. So we gathered some amazing educators from around the state, and together we began to reimagine what was possible. We learned how to tap into our creativity and ideation without boundaries that limit our thinking, and dared to reimagine an educational system where environmental education thrives. Together, we analyzed, diagnosed, investigated, and got to the core of the challenges and barriers that stood in our way. We explored the system that impacted those challenges and identified key players to our success. Then each solutioneer began to engineer possible solutions to their challenges. ultimately aiming at engaging students in environmental education in a powerful and meaningful way. We realize that the kind of leadership needed to truly address the challenges we face is risky, but that we are the leaders and now is the time. In each other, we found inspiration, motivation, and support. The solutions were as diverse as the Solutioneers. One program, modeled after FFA, is engaging students in leadership, experiences, and learning about nature, and another is exploring a vertical teaming model where high school students teach elementary students about the environment. Solutioneers are making new connections for student leadership around environmental issues in their communities. In one rural Kansas town, students are leading the way to educate their community about water issues. And in an urban Kansas City, students are finding new ways to reduce their school's environmental impact. Another Solutioneer is working to develop a school-centered community space where families can reap the health benefits of being in nature. We came into this process imagining that educators would find ways to integrate environmental education into the classroom, leveraging the new state science standards to do so. But instead, what we found was that the solutions removed the boundaries of the science classroom to find new and innovative ways to engage students in environmental education. In the end, it wasn't about the projects. It was about the people, exercising their leadership to be the change in the world they wish to see. These Solutioneers won't just implement a project. They'll lead the way in their schools, communities, districts, and state to bring environmental education to students in powerful, meaningful, and impactful ways.